Hi, I'm Stephen M. Miller. I write books about the Bible, and I'm paraphrasing the Casual English Bible. Last week I heard from a Christian who was upset because of the Bible. He said he didn't feel as though he could trust the Bible like he used to before he started reading it. That's the problem right there. He actually started reading the thing, and he doesn't agree with some of what it says. And he can't believe the writers always quoted God right. I've heard from others with the same worry, and it is a worry. They worry over what they're going to do now that they believe the Bible isn't always right. Here's one very common example of when they say the Bible got it wrong. They can't believe God told Joshua and the Israelites invading what is now Israel and Palestinian lands to kill everything. Women, kids, little lambs. If it breathed, they poked holes in it. They slaughtered everything in 31 towns according to a list in the Bible. Some thoughtful Christians say they can't believe God ordered that. Here's one more example, this one from the New Testament. Some Christians say Paul got it wrong when he told women not to teach men, and when he sent that runaway slave back to the slave's master, and when he said homosexuals should stop doing it. These Christians say Paul got all of those wrong. I write books about the Bible. I've done that for 40 years. That's how long Moses and the Israelites wandered in the wilderness. No parallel whatsoever. At this point, you might expect me to defend the traditional take on the Bible, to make the case about why the Bible got all those things right. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't intend to defend either side. There's something that I think is more important. Something that I think those worried Christians need more than someone arguing with them. With all of those testy topics, there are strong arguments on both sides. Some Christians defend the slaughter. They say God ordered the genocide like he did the great flood of Noah, to wipe out sin in the land and to begin fresh with new generations of people worshiping God. And they say because Joshua did not finish the job, the local people who Israel spared later suckered some of the Jews into those local religions. 2 Israelite kings sacrificed their kids to idols. Things got so bad for the Jews that God let invaders from what is now Iraq wipe their nation off the political map. But on the other side of that argument, some Christians remind us that Jesus said, "If you've seen me, you've seen the Father." Jesus is what God is like. So we have to ask, would Jesus order genocide? Jesus is going to say, "Let the little children come unto me," but will he add, "Now kill them all with Peter's sword"? These arguments have two sides. With Paul and homosexuality, some say he's reflecting what Jews had always taught about it and what God himself told Moses about it. Paul said homosexuality is self-destructive and unnatural, and that men did shameful things with each other. Many call that the clobber passage because they say Paul clobbers homosexuals. When Paul wrote that, he was an old man who had never been married. In today's culture, his critics might have wondered if he tore into the homosexuals because he was one, standing there in the closet. We don't know that. But some people wonder that after reading what he wrote about homosexuals. The Bible clearly speaks out against homosexuality in the Old Testament and the New. It's doggone clear. But in our culture, Christians who know and love other sexually oriented family members and friends say it feels evil to shame them for being who they naturally are. They say Paul reflected his culture, which reflected our culture a few years ago. A few years ago, Christians were calling gay people unkind names. Today, anyone who talks like that is called a homophobe, which sounds kind of unkind too. Given what science has revealed about the human body, many Christians say we know more about sexuality than Paul did. So yeah, some Christians say Paul was mistaken in his judgment about homosexuality, whether we agree with them or not. These Christians are reading the Bible and not merely accepting what others tell them to believe. They're thinking for themselves. That takes courage, especially among strongly opinionated, tradition-minded Christians who are sure they got it right. But what these inquisitive Christians struggle with are serious questions like these. What other mistakes are in the Bible? What other opinions are wrong? Are the stories about Jesus reliable? Did he really rise from the dead? What part of the Bible is holy? I'm not going to tackle those questions here. I want to say something else to those Christians who are beginning to doubt their faith because they don't think the Bible they hold in their hands is entirely accurate. Tell me, which was the greater gift? The Bible? A church committee put the Bible in our hands. That's how we got the New Testament. A church committee meeting signed off on the books they considered inspired. Jesus didn't give us any books. He didn't give us a Bible. He didn't tell us to take notes. He put the Spirit of God inside of us. That is something. I'm going to ask the Father to send you another spiritual guide who will be with you all the time. The Father will do this. You'll have the Spirit to teach you the truth. Others won't, because they don't know Him. But you are going to get to know Him, because He's going to live with you. He will live inside of you, as part of you. The Bible, as wonderful as it is not the only resource we have to help us find our way through this puzzling world. We have the Spirit of God inside of us. Of course, those Christians might question that too, and wonder if that's fiction. But if you're Christian, you can sense the Spirit, can't you? You know you're not the only one in here. You're not alone in trying to figure things out. Aside from debates about how to interpret the Bible, I wanted to remind you of that. When you're struggling over something the Bible says, try this. Quiet down and listen. In the meantime, it's okay to feel confused about the Bible. We can think about those tough questions and we can store them on a shelf for a time if we need to. But for now, while you're thinking, don't feel lost. Don't feel afraid. And don't feel alone. Feel connected. We've got the Bible. That's easy to tell because people are always arguing about it. But we've got the Spirit of God too. We don't talk about it very often. But the Spirit of God is huge. If any of this helps, give me a thumbs up. My mother counts those. You're welcome to subscribe too. I'd like that. Hey, thanks for watching. Peace to you.